Oh, normally I wouldn't be doing a vlog on a Sunday, but my pastor gave a sermon today that nourished my soul. And I'll get into that a little bit. Let me get these shades off. I'm having real problems with light today, bad problems. Among other things. I did not sleep last night, and it wasn't due to worries or anything else. I have a trick I use that my pastor mentioned today. I won't go into his private stuff. It's his, not mine. But he's preached to us. He gave a sermon on Acts chapter 10, and he is the first preacher I've heard pronounce the name of this town in Italy properly. It's called Caesarea. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian Band. Band, B-A-N-D. A devout man, and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming into him, saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid, and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. Centurion, how's that working? Yeah, it's still charging. And that's hot, but it'll be okay. I am going to get an iPhone just so my youngest adopted son, Matt, knows. I gave hugs to him a couple of times. Love that boy so much. But the centurion, and I'm going to get an iPhone, Matt, I promise. It's just I've got to do things sequentially. And what is that doing? I didn't say do that. I'm having issues with my monster computer, and I'm going to be writing on my book after I do this and upload it, and then eventually get in to sit with my wife. I'm hoping she's taking a nap, kind of doubt it. She needs one. I was up. I had a brutal night last night, and it wasn't due to dreading the shot tomorrow. It wasn't due to anything other than pain, and I took a lot of pain reliever. When I woke up this morning, the first time I woke up was 3:32 a.m. The second time that I actually sat up was at 5 something, and the third time it was 8:15, and that's when I got on up and went and took care of my morning toilet and all that. And I did something stupid a while ago. I ate some more sushi with a liberal dose of wasabi on it. It was just as hot as the first one. I must be mentally ill to torture myself again like that. But I enjoyed it. My son Chris and my grandson David just left the office. I had David take a little bunch of little cherry tomatoes, small ones, that I put in a little bit of water and had him go put some dirt in a styrofoam cup. I'm going to see if they take and sprout. Hopefully they do. But anyway, that's beside the point. My pastor gave that sermon, and it was about a centurion named Cornelius. Now, a centurion in the Roman military commands 100 men, and that's where the word century comes from. Centuria, 100. And he sent three of his trusted servants to gather up Simon with the surname Peter and have him come back. And what the message is that we're all children of God. Those of the circumcision, the Jews, would not associate with Gentiles. They wouldn't. And yet Peter, the apostle, came into Cornelius's house and taught he and all of his servants about Jesus, and they accepted. That resonated with me. It really did. It nourished my soul. I have a pastor that's from West Virginia. He's not what you'd call a sophisticated speaker, but he is the best thing as far as a pastor that's ever happened to me. I've waited my entire life, and I'm an old man, to have him be my pastor. Well, he mentioned something, and I'm not going to say what his problem is. It's not my place to, but he has a problem he's dealing with, and he was talking about sleeping at night. And he takes his problems and he parks them to the side and has the Lord deal with it. I have what has been referred to as a compartmentalized mind. I do. I put things in different categories, and that's how I deal with stuff. That's how I don't get into a blind panic on my stuff personally. And I'm dealing with quite a bit right now that I won't go into. My cup runneth over in some bad ways, but listen, it runneth over in a lot of good ways too. I needed church this morning. It was excellent. I had the best church family in the world. There were 23 of us there. There's another little church there in Springer that I think is closed. I didn't see anybody there. No cars, second Sunday in a row. Third Sunday in a row that it's not had anyone there. During the Sunday school lesson, Brother Fry referred to Christians falling away, and they are rapidly. Churches are closing all over the place. I think it's the enormity of life just falls on people. It just dovetailed down on the individual, and it seems overwhelming at times. Well, prayer does work, folks. It works well. I'm just going to tell you that. I spend a lot of time in prayer, an awful lot of time, and I do see results. But everybody's problems are their own. My problems aren't your problems aren't my problems. However, we can pray for each other and shore each other up. Now, I've not looked at any headlines on Sunday. I just don't do that. I have an edict from an outfit I belong to. I still belong to 3 think tanks. I'm an active participant in 2 of them. And that is a little worrisome sometimes. It really is. But that's okay. I'm around Tuesday evening, something like that. We're going to have a family meeting here, and I'm going to line some things out for Some will get really angry at me, others will understand the need for it. But like my grandson David, when I had him go out and dig dirt up and put it into that cup, it was a job, and he's willing. He and his two brothers are absolutely willing to do anything Papa or his parents or his grandmother asked them to do. And that is a good thing. Just a second. I think everybody needs to work. Everybody needs a job. It makes you a whole person when you do that. There are those that absolutely will give me a hard time about that, but this is an actual farm. We raise goats and we raise sheep. There's livestock. And one of the things I'm going to be doing this winter when it's not so hot out there, I'm not going to build my wife a chicken coop. I'm going to buy her one, and I'm going to build a little chicken yard like an aviary. It's going to be a lot smaller than what she had, and she's not going to have 40 and 50 birds this time. She loves watching chickens, absolutely loves it. I do too. And if it's cool weather and she's out there, she can sit under a shade tree and watch them eat, peck, and do all the things that make looking at poultry fun. If you're married, you have a wife, you have an obligation to make sure she has enjoyment. And I'm going to try to do that. I've got one of my, not my first publisher, but my second publisher and the Writers Guild. Somehow someone watched this and they found out I'm doing a new book. So I'm going to, I've got to write it. Parts of it, the idea for parts of it are coming from my best friend Jerry Pletcher. He wrote a book. He's revised it a couple of times. It's basically on prophecy, and he does a good outline on it. He lets you know, and he's knowledgeable. That's the best way I can say it. We did have a family from our church that hasn't been in a while. I was gone for a couple of years due to who the pastor was and some things he said about me that were really negative and not true. I'm not going to bring that up in any specifics, but this other family quit coming around the same time. And we've got a batch of new people that are just as golden as a gold double eagle that are coming to church. They're absolutely fabulous folks, and I appreciate that. A couple of them I've been friends with for a long time. That's Jeremy and Amanda Kincaid. They'd come before, but they took the plunge and they're members now. And then Mike Deoust, his mother and father are members now, and Mike's my second youngest adopted son, and Matt is my youngest adopted son, and Matt Stanley is a member. Then Clint is a member, and Aaron, who wasn't there today, is a member. And there's more coming forth, but this one family sent a letter, and one of our deacons, Cal Pender, presented, and these people wanted their membership moved from our church to a church in Milo, Oklahoma, and we all voted, yeah, let's do that. And that's fine. They're going to church. Now I got off on that tangent, and I apologize. I'm not dealing with some things real well right now, but I will get over it. They're physical, not psychological. Um, when Chris and my grandson David were in here, he referred to my wall, I think, as a guitar warehouse or guitar wall or something. And I'm looking at that, and that's fine. I need to, absolutely need to play some of those. I just not going to today. I'm going to, tomorrow I have to take my brother Chris to the bank so he can do some things he's got to do. And need to take my son Brandon to work. The kids will be getting on the bus except for Cheyenne. Linda has to take him early in the morning. So they've got to get that all set up and see how that goes. And I've just got a lot going on, folks. Let me get a sip. Just a second. Oh, man. Just a second. Oh. I watched a bird yesterday is the best way I can describe what I'm talking about. And it was a bird. It was a small bird. There was a hawk in top of a tree over there in the woods across the street from our house. And this little bird came down, and I didn't see anything in the bird's claws. It was a hawk, a red-tailed hawk. This little bird, and I don't know what kind it was, it dive bombed that hawk. And it might have collided with that hawk's head because it ducked down. The little bird flew off fast. It got down into the woods to fly off. And I thought about that, and I'm still thinking about it. I don't know what the hawk did. I don't know if a bird with a brain as small as they are have a memory where that hawk stole babies and ate them. I don't know what all went with it. I know red-tailed hawks, they mate for life, and I've only seen that one around, which means somebody or something killed the mate. I don't know if it's a female or a male. By the size of it, I would suggest it's probably a female. But what that has to do with what I'm about to talk about, Canada geese, they mate for life. Red-tailed hawks mate for life. Eagles mate for life. Wolves mate for life. A lot of things in nature mate for life. And then when their mate is no longer, they don't take a second one. And that is pretty much how God describes marriage in the Bible. Marriage isn't something you go into willy-nilly. It is for life. People make mistakes and have previous mates, that's right. But when you accept the Savior and you have a mate, you're obligated to retain that mate for the rest of your days on this planet. And that is my parting message to those of you who are married and know the Lord. Treat your wife or your husband as well as you can treat them. because they are really and truly a gift from God. Now, I got to get off of here. I've got a chapter to finish writing. And in the meantime, know this crippled old man who's back on 2 walking canes loves you with everything I've got to love you with. God is blessing you. You thank Him for your blessings because you are blessed. And like the sign right there says, be kind. If we're going to win this thing against the adversary, we're going to have to be kind to everybody. And that's the truth. Love you, God bless you, and bye.